just speaking on that in general, what's your outlook right now on the current state of women's MMA in general?
Well, I know I've been very opinionated about this. I think it's a mess. I think that it's very much a disarray on this side. Number one is because nobody's really gone in here and built a platform and tried to solidify these actual weight classes where you can, build depth in them.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got girls that are, should be fighting 125 that are jumping up and fighting 145.
Yeah.
Just to have that opportunity. And, that's very sad, to be honest with you. It's not helping our sport.
No.
It's not making our sport look competent on this side. You're seeing some mismatched fights. You're seeing, a lot of things that are not advantageous to helping it grow. And I think that that's where, what we aspire to do is to have a platform that caters to this and that we can actually legitimately have weight classes. Here's the thing. I was looking at these unified rules, not unified rules, but the unified rankings, okay?
Yes.
And these, where they set these out. And as you start to matchmake the card here, you're looking and you're making these phone calls for girls that are ranked in the top 10 and 145 pounds, but yet when you pick up the phone and you're talking to this athlete's management, they're like, well, they're actually a 125er, or they're actually a 135er. Well, what are they doing ranked up here?
Yeah.
I don't even get it because, to me it's like, and I'm not judging them on how they do it by any means or saying it's wrong, right, or indifferent. What I'm saying is that you have a true 125er. What the heck? Or a 135er. What the heck are they doing ranked?
Yeah.
And it's just mind-blowing. It's what it is.
It's kind of like the early days of MMA when there wasn't, at least in the U.S., there wasn't as much depth, and almost everything you saw was open weight classes because people just wanted to get out there and fight each other, and it wasn't, the structure wasn't there. They're just, it wasn't in the proper order, I guess, is what I'm thinking.
It was not developed yet.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the better way to say it. And,
yeah.
And sometimes when I look over this, I think it's even actually more of a mess. I mean, we haven't an infrastructure or a structure to look at over at the UFC and see what they've done.
Yeah.
Or, Bellator's and the Strike Force, all those groups, how they do everything. But it hasn't really been implemented to, on this side for the females like it should be. I mean, God bless them all, they're trying. And there's limited amount of spots on those cards. And they are making that effort. It's just still so, you're only seeing, 2 or 3 fights,
yeah,
every so often on a card. How could you ever gauge depth?
Yeah.
Or how could you ever really solidify an audience or help it grow?
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing the best they can, so I'm certainly not knocking them, but,
it's
going to be a lot hard.
It's hard for the girls, too, because due to that, they don't get as much exposure. I know a lot of them sit without fights for long stretches, and it was kind of nice to see that the other promotions were allowing them to go out and get onto your fight card to keep them busy and keep their faces out in the public. I thought that was a good thing. Was that hard or was that easy to get to get that done and get the okay from the other promotions to put these girls on your card?
No, it wasn't hard. I mean, one of the great things that I have a good relationship with those promotions.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of times that those promotions will take a lot of heat. Bellator gets the heat. Zuffa does. Because they now have Strike Force and things like that. But the bottom line is, really, if these people didn't care, they, number one, let's take it Strike Force and Zuffa. Look how everybody got behind that last fight card that had 2 female fights on it that were amazing.
Yeah.
I give them mad respect and props for that. They also, they don't have the spots, and these girls were sitting there, so they gave them the opportunity to come over and fight on my card. I think that says it all. I think that says that, yes, they do care. If they didn't care, those, they would just be sitting there not making any money, and that would be what would be happening.
Yeah.
So Bellator the same way. I mean, they were good to us, let us use Lisa Ellis, and Yeah, I mean, I think that's what's going to help the sport.
Yeah.
And in return, would we do the same thing and pay it forward? Absolutely.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, that's it. That builds a great working relationship, and it keeps things in order for everyone. If there's that ability to not necessarily cross promote, but allow them to hop promotions if it's in the if it's in a good interest, I guess is what I'm getting at.
No, and I agree. Yeah, certainly agree. So.
Yeah. So do you feel it was a blessing for you guys with Marloes Coenen getting released from her contract and then her not fully signing with the other promotion, that you guys were able to get such a huge name in women's MMA onto the card to in the main event?
Yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, I've known Marloes for a long time, and I think that it is an asset, absolutely. But above and beyond that she's well known, above and beyond that she's a great fighter, is she's a great spokesperson for the sport.
Yeah.
I mean, she cares about where this is going.
Yeah.
She wants to be instrumental in helping to move it forward. So, for me, when I look over at Marloes, I did I get lucky? Was it a godsend, a blessing? Sure.
Yeah.
But on many different levels, not just because she's a great fighter and because, she was one of the most known or something like that.
Yeah.
I think what Marloes brings to the table is, above and beyond that.
So she's
one of these girls are great.
Yeah, and she's absolutely a great spokesperson to have, like a face to have in the forefront of your promotion. I feel, that's someone like you said. She's about it. She's well spoken, and people on top of all that, she's a great fighter, and people know who she is. So that's all a plus. Adding that together.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
See what else we have.
But you know what? Every one of these girls that are on the card, they all bring something that's, amazing, and they're excited to be on this card. They're all excited to have, this promotion that's going to, try to make the difference. So, I mean, I feel like, I think it's a great card, and I think every one of these girls brings something unique and great to this card. So I'm happy with all of them on it.
That's a great thing. I think they're all going to give you 100% due to the fact that you're doing something that means a lot to them in general, because no one else out there is doing something so exclusive just for them. And these girls, I guarantee every last one of them are going to appreciate that so much that they're going to give their all, because they want this to work, because the women need something like this. It's somewhat there, but it's not where it should be, and it's not in the manner that you are doing it in, which is such a great thing to see.
And honestly, if I was a fighter, I would be stoked to be happy to be part of this, to be, pioneering the fight, because that's what it's all about, and that's the majority of what, these women do in the sport anyway. So they're pioneers. I mean, every day, every step they take is a step towards, the betterment of the sport for the females. So.
Definitely, this is a huge leap forward, and hopefully it's only gonna get better and lead to you guys getting more exposure, leading to these girls getting more exposure, and leading to people understanding women's MMA on a bigger forefront than they do now. Because I know a lot of people look at it, oh, she's pretty, she's not pretty, end of story, and they don't actually look at it for the sport of it or the fighting itself. And a lot of these girls are very talented. There's a lot of girls out there that I definitely could could take a guy in a street fight, but people are too busy staring at what they're wearing to the weigh-ins and the pre-fight pictures they're going to take, and not enough attention to their actual ability. And I think you guys are giving them a platform to show that they're more than, for lack of a better term, a sex symbol. There's more out there for them in this sport.
That is so very true.
As far as like the exposure front, if you're able to speak on the subject at the moment, what's your broadcast and sponsorship situation looking like moving into the future?
Well, I think the future is really bright. I think it's extremely bright. I think that right at the moment we're being very selective of what we're doing. I mean, for us, we just, we want to get this show done. Get it out there, get it done, and show everybody. Like I said, once again, it's coming down to the vision that we want to everyone to see.
Yeah.
Alignment with sponsors and things like that. Yes, we'll have sponsors. We are aligning ourselves, but we're also taking our time. I mean, what's most important to us right at this moment in time is this first event and letting everybody see what we want to do, what our vision is for the sport, for the females on the side.
Yeah.
And I think that's important when you're aligning yourself with sponsors, broadcast partners. I think it's just about everything you got to do. I think it's very important. Us being an all-female promotion is advantageous in ways that it would not be for, if we had males on the card. There are a lot of products,
Yeah.
Female products and services out there that will be more eager to find us and sponsor than they would if we were, a mixed card.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great thing too.
So there could be something a little interesting there.
Yeah. So I think that the future is very bright on all those fronts.
That's very good to hear. And one last thing, let us know what we can expect from Invicta in 2012. What do you guys got planned so far besides this initial event?
Well, we have definitely committed to doing 3 events this year. It's always been our objective to do 4. We got started a little late in the year, so we will definitely do 3 this year.
Yeah.
I think that every card that we put together, I think you're going to see a stacked card top to bottom. I think you're going to get that diversity to see all the weight classes. We're going 105 up to 145, and who knows, if we see that there's in the higher weight classes, that we can create some depth there. I think you'll see that as well.
Yeah.
I think we'll crown a champion this year.
Yeah.
In at least one weight division for sure. But I think, and I think that you're going to see amazing fights. I think that's what you can make on, is that you're going to see some good quality fights in a professional platform. And we're inside that's my big deal.
Yeah.
But it has to be professional. I mean, we want you to be able to enjoy the show and see good quality fights.
I'm definitely
That's our commitment.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I spoke with a friend to get some info, and she let me know that you guys were going to speak on eventually streaming the fights, and I was very excited to be able to watch this card. So it's something I think everybody's looking forward to. It's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, and we certainly thank, the media. I mean, it's people like you that are getting behind us, helping to create that awareness so everybody knows what we're doing and where we're headed. And I think that's, we can't thank you enough. Thank you. Our job would be a lot harder. You know what? All right, well, thank you very much, okay? Well, thanks again for the support. We really appreciate it.